So it started with lower back pain. It was very, very intense. I remember going to hospitals and then they would just, oh, muscle, it's just a muscle issue. They gave me muscle relaxants and whatnot, but it was not going away. So I was diagnosed after between, I think, 2011, 2012. And then it was back and forth with many hospitals. I saw a lot of doctors. So it was after going in and out of hospitals and seeing so many doctors that finally somebody thought to think outside the box, and then they checked and I finally got my diagnosis. I always say that fibromyalgia is my gift from God because that's the mindset I've had.
What's the darkest moment in your journey?
So it was before I was diagnosed, the uncertainty and the not knowing. You have so many questions but nobody could offer answers. And then after the diagnosis, there's that pitch black darkness of, oh, okay, now we know what the problem is. What's next? There's no cure. You have to manage it for the rest of your life.
Has there been any period where you feel like dying? Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TooHealthTalk, a show gets shared each health challenge in a very simple and honest conversation. But before we continue, please, if you want to know what we're doing here, please share this video, subscribe, and drop your comments for this video to reach more audience. On today's episode, we have a special guest. I'm going to emphasize on the fact that this guest is a very special guest to us. She's like the first patient coming on the show to share her story, and it means a lot to us here at TooHealthTalk. Today we're talking about a very, important or not so popular topic, but I know a lot of people are facing or are going through this issue. We're going to be talking about fibromyalgia, and it's a very, very chronic musculoskeletal disease that a lot of people pass through or a lot of people are facing silently, and some people don't even know okay, this is the issue that they are going through. And I'm so happy for having Miss Amal Shamaki on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to show to your story. And it's like I said earlier, it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So how do you feel coming on the show to your story?
So I'm really happy to be here, first of all. I want to share my story with everyone. I want people to understand what I'm going through, and then if they can connect with it. There's so many people that are going through this and they don't know what it is. Doctors haven't been able to diagnose them. So I hope that being here today will help everybody suffering silently. They should know that they are not alone and that they can continue searching for help and seeking the answers that they need.
Now, so for someone hearing the word fibromyalgia for the first time, can you break it down for them in a very simple way?
Okay, so basically fibromyalgia is it's a chronic disease that deals with how the body processes pain, but it's beyond that because first of all, the symptoms are invisible. It's something that you feel, but nobody can see it. It's pain, constant pain, fatigue, brain fog. It's very, very terrible. So imagine waking up every day and feeling like you ran a marathon in your sleep or you were hit by a bus. It's that kind of constant pain that moves through your shoulders, your legs, your body, your back, and it can hit any part of your body. It doesn't discriminate it's here today, it's be lower back today, it can be your feet tomorrow.
Wow.
Yes.
So walk us through on how you started feeling this pain, how were you diagnosed of these issues?
So I started when I was in my final year in the university. That's when I started noticing that things were a little bit off. I would notice that I'll be very, very tired. Even when I've rested for a day or two, I'll still wake up very exhausted. There was the lower back pain. So it started with lower back pain. It was very, very intense. I remember going to hospitals and then they would just, oh, muscle, it's just a muscle issue. They gave me muscle relaxants and whatnot, but it was not going away. And then the fatigue, I'll emphasize on the fatigue because you always wake up tired. So that was how it started. I was just constantly exhausted.
Wow.
Yes.
So now, at what point were you diagnosed?
So I was diagnosed after between, I think, 2011, 2012. Wow. And then it was back and forth with many hospitals. I saw a lot of doctors. So it was after going in and out of hospitals and seeing so many doctors that finally somebody taught to think outside the box. And then they checked, and I finally got my diagnosis.
Wow. So now, at this point, when you were like visiting different hospitals,
Yeah.
are there like at any point like you felt like, oh, people were not listening to you, or they were
Yes.
not understanding what you were
Yes,
going through?
absolutely. Yes, because first of all, so sometimes when the flare up starts and you go to the hospital, you can't even explain what you're going through. So you know how you go and then the doctor, oh, how are you feeling? You can say, oh, my head is hurting. My Sometimes the pain and everything is so intense that you can't even say, oh, pain. Okay, first you can say, oh, shoulder pain, and then the doctor will say, oh, how are you feeling? What type of pain is it? You can't explain it. I can't even, many times I go, I can't tell you that, oh, it's this area that is hurting. I just know that I'm in so much pain.
Or
Yes.
was there any like first symptom that you like felt like, no, this is not normal?
So yeah, it's the back pain that started, and then with all the medications I was placed under, you think any normal person with a normal like known illness would take and it will be better. And then I kept going back and back to the hospital. Oh, I finished this round of medication. I still don't feel any different. They give me another pack of medication. Oh, try this one. At some point, it was just like trial and error. Okay, you've had this, it didn't work. Try something else. We'll give you something else. You try it. Okay, take it for like 2 weeks or a month, and then you're expecting that the feedback will be positive, but it was never like that.
How did you feel when they get to dismiss your pain?
It's very, very upsetting, actually. Like, imagine you know what you're going through, you know what you're feeling, but then you speak to like an expert and the person just dismisses, or most doctors would say, oh, are you sure it's not all in your head? You're imagining it. I've had a doctor that actually looked me in the eyes and said, oh, maybe you're just pretending. And that's
Or
really, really hurts because like it's okay for you to say you don't know what somebody is going through, but then to dismiss what the person is feeling is actually upsetting, especially knowing that me, I knew what I was going through, I knew what I was feeling, and I knew it wasn't normal. So it was really, really upsetting.
wow. So
Yeah.
now, for this, when anybody tell you that, oh, it's just stress, or you're pretending, like how do you get to correct them? It's like for them to be able to understand you that, okay, this is not like pretense, this is not
So
stress.
it's actually an upsetting thing if someone says it. So sometimes I just ignore. But most times I just like, okay, if you think I'm like, I don't wish for this for anybody. So for you to look at someone and say, oh, you're pretending, or it's even okay when you tell me it's just stress. I can explain to you that, oh, I have a medical condition or I feel like it's not normal. But when you just say somebody is pretending, it's really, really upsetting to hear.
No.
So I feel like for people that make those comments, it's better you don't even say anything to me than to actually tell me that you feel I'm pretending.
So now I've like my little research about this condition.
Yes.
I could see that okay, this condition might be caused by when someone is depressed, or maybe there's a family history of this issue.
Yeah.
Were you ever heartbroken or depressed? Something?
No. So but with fibromyalgia, they said it has to do with like unresolved trauma. So it might be something that must have happened or might have happened in your past, maybe growing up, that you never really like, well, how do I put it? You never really went back to talk about or sort out or something. So most research papers say that, oh, it's unresolved trauma, while others would just say that it's how the brain processes pain is different for patients with fibromyalgia than others.
For you, were there like an unresolved trauma in your life?
I don't think so, but recently I've been trying to like go back to think if I had, because I've been reading so much about how, oh, and then because it's a disease that most women are known to have than men,
Yeah, yeah, true.
because I think women handle more stress, they take up more, like we're like sponges. You hear about somebody's problem, it automatically becomes yours. So I've been trying to go back, like I've actually been digging into my memory to see like, oh, during my childhood, did something happen that kept happening to me, it kept reoccurring, that wasn't really dealt with how it should, that maybe it's the one that kept sticking and in my subconscious it's just there and I'm thinking about it so much, maybe that's what caused. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything like that for me.
Because like, if you're saying that as at 2011,
Yes.
you were like diagnosed of fibromyalgia,
Yes.
you're pretty young, and this stuff goes to like people of like 40 and above. Do you think
Yes.
there's a problem somewhere?
No. So I just, at the end of the day, I know Nigerians were very religious people. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, there are some things obviously you think about, but then others you just think, okay, this is something that God just placed in your life for a reason. So I don't think there was something that happened or went wrong because I've really thought, and then there are exceptions, of course. There are some diseases that affect people in their old age or midlife, and then there's some exceptions that, oh, something that happens to 50, 60-year-olds, you see 25-year-olds, 15-year-olds dealing with. So maybe this is just one of them. But
Wow.
actually, when you read a lot of research papers, there are actually, like now, I think there's more younger people being diagnosed with fibromyalgia than older. And then what I can say about that is I think maybe in the past, people weren't really paying attention. So it's possible they've been carrying the illness for since when they were in their 20s, 30s, and they probably didn't get diagnosed until their 40s or mid or 50s or so. And now there's more awareness around the world, and people are learning to like check these things and see that, okay, it's probably this and not something else now.
So how do you feel going into the hospital and coming out almost every day of your life? How do you feel?
So I've learned to like it's become normal for me, to be honest, because I've been, even growing up as a child, I wasn't the most healthy child. I had asthma, so I
Oh,
used to always be in the hospital. I remember in primary school, like every time, there's always like one or two admissions for me. So I think it's okay. It's become like normal part of my life. But now, as I grow older, as I read and I'm more aware of the illness, there are things that happen now. I get symptoms that I haven't had before, and I'm able to manage myself more at home. So like now, before I have a flare up that will actually take me to the hospital, I will first of all do one or two things at home, and then surprisingly and luckily for me, most times I always get to do the right thing and I get better, even without going to the hospital.
do you feel that you are different from everyone around you?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Yes.
So you don't think, oh, maybe you just get to regret that, oh, why am I like this? Why is my life like this?
Oh
At some
no.
point, do you, like, some people have who facing this
Yes.
issue now, they're like, oh, why am I even in this world? Have you ever felt that way before?
No, I haven't. But initially, in the beginning, when I got the diagnosis, I actually was, for a while, I was a bit sad because I thought, oh, okay, this is going to stop me from doing everything I want to do. And then I might not be able to live my life to the fullest. And there was fear of, oh, and then in the beginning, there was so much information overload. I was going through things, I was reading a lot on Google. Sometimes the internet is not your friend because you see, oh, people with same symptoms as yours saying, oh, they got paralyzed, or they stopped working, they stopped this. So that was what affected me initially. But then later on, I realized that with this, you can actually still live your life. I can do the things I want to do. I just have to know how to navigate my body to do. I may not be able to get up today and do 100, but I can just do the 50 or the 40, and then I'll still be proud of what I've done.
You look so healthy.
Yes.
So how do you deal with the pain inside?
I just smile and push through. And people ask, oh, you don't look like you're going through pain. And I'm like, oh, thank God I don't look like what I'm going through.
Wow. Have you ever, like you said earlier, that Nigerians, we are very religious.
Yes.
Have you thought that, okay, maybe this is like a maybe sacrifice, you are sacrificing something to get something, or there's a problem somewhere
So,
that,
no, so
maybe there's a family history of this issue and maybe it was not properly solved well. Do you think that maybe that's the cause?
So actually, I always say that fibromyalgia is my gift from God because I that's the mindset I've had for a long time. Even when I started saying it to myself, and I was thinking, oh, you're just consoling yourself because maybe there's nothing you can do. But now, like that's my main mindset. I feel like, oh, it's my gift from God. Um, I take it that I'm a special servant of God. He loves me so much. He gave me this gift. I'm grateful for my challenges because there are people going through so much worse than me. There are people going through something not as much as I am, but they can't even help themselves. They've not gotten the right answers. They've not gotten people or doctors that can help them. They can't even afford proper health care to even help them with whatever it is. And then for the part about the family history, So maybe it's possible that somebody in the family, maybe extended family, that probably wasn't diagnosed with this or had the same issue, but we never got to know, or we never got to come around learning about. But I don't know. It's a very weird disease. So I doubt if it's not like it's a hereditary type
Easy.
of thing.
Yeah,
Yes. So
true.
you don't inherit it. You don't. It's just something that I think you just get somewhere along the line.
Did you lose friends because of this chronic illness?
Yes. People will come and go out of your life because maybe they feel you're not doing or giving what you should give. I've lost friends, yes, because some people would call, oh, let's do this, let's hang out. We actually make plans. And then at the last minute, I've had to cancel because one flare up or the other. So, but there are people that have stayed. There are people that have gone through this. They are going through this journey with me. They're still on the journey with me. The relationship has become stronger,
Can you mention
and
their
I'm
name?
grateful for them. You want me to mention their
Let me
names?
just two
Okay, so friends or family or both?
friends.
Friends, just friends.
Yeah, I think friends, because family was this, even though you're
Yes,
dying, family is always.
family will always say, so there's
Yeah.
Zainab Kurfi, she's my very, very close friend. So
Oh,
she's been with me throughout all this journey. She understands. I haven't seen her in months. She lives in Abuja too.
oh,
I haven't seen her in months because every time we make plans, I've had to cancel because of one flare up or the other, and she's just a very understanding person. I can literally tell her, "Oh, I'm on my way to your house." She'll be like, "Okay," and then I'll just go start for days, and she's fine with it. Then there's Mariam Ibrahim.
oh.
Mariam is a doctor, so she helps me actually, like when I have some weird symptoms or some weird feeling. She can, oh, do this, try that. Have you tried this? I've seen something that can help. She will buy it and send it to me. Oh, try this and let me know if it actually helps you.
So
So yes,
now,
I'm super grateful for them.
oh, shout out to them.
Shout out to shout
So,
out to you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
thumbs up. Yeah, thank you for being part of. I'm part. So,
Yeah.
oh my mind just dropped. So I wanted to ask, you said you might like plan to go on and like maybe on a date with your friend and
Yes.
you're just having flare up already. So I wanted to walk us through what like a bad day look like in your life.
So a bad day it starts in the middle of the night actually, or maybe the night before.
Oh,
I'll have difficulty falling asleep. There'll just be so much pain and discomfort. Maybe when I finally drift off in the middle of the night, the pain can just wake me up.
oh,
And then when I wake up in the morning, there's just stiffness and pain. My whole body will be sore. But sometimes I push through that. I get up, take a shower, go out. Maybe if I have to go to work, I go to work. There were times in the past that I've actually gotten up. I will take a shower, I'll get dressed, and I'll get back to bed. I
oh.
can't do anything. But thankfully, like recently, I've been able to push through my symptoms and actually just go. I go to work. Some days I just go and sit there. I don't do anything. I'm just there physically. Like I came to work.
Oh.
People cannot say I'm not here, but I can't give in anything. I can't do anything. I'm just there. I sit after work. I come back home.
How did they manage
And
it at the office?
so yeah, I'm working with really amazing people. They've been trying for me because sometimes I'm sick and away for a bit. But recently I've actually been better with being at work than in the past.
Oh,
Like the symptoms, I've been able to manage them a lot. I've been able to, even when I feel sick, I actually just go to work. Sometimes my supervisor just tells me, oh, you can just go home and take the rest of the day off or take tomorrow off so that you can get better and come back. Well, yes, it's been amazing. They've been doing well for
do
me
you think
too.
a special need kid or lady?
No, I don't.
You don't
Yes,
think
but
so?
maybe somewhere, maybe in another country, they will categorize me as that. But in Nigeria, when you say special need, they want to physically see the
See,
problem.
yeah, true. They
Yes.
want to guys see the problem.
Yeah.
So now, is there any like a one comment someone has made towards you that hurts you the most?
Yeah, so people say, oh, you're just pretending or you're being dramatic. That actually hurts because, first of all, no sane person would pretend to be ill. Or you would now be thinking, oh, being dramatic as far how? Like, what am I doing it to gain? So, what people will say what they want to say. Like, everybody has their own think they have their own opinion about how you feel or how you should feel or
Sure.
react. So
So
I
I
don't
know
really guess people's comments. They
comments.
don't get to
They
me.
don't. Will it at any point gets to you? Like, has it been any point that this maybe growing up or when it started first? Has it ever gotten
Yes,
to you?
actually, there are some days that people say things. Even Dr. Z is always my like. I'm always ranting about somebody said this, one relative somewhere. Oh, said this.
Even
Can you
relative?
imagine? People don't even. Yes, people can. People will say what they want to say. Like how can I say I'm not well or I'm feeling ill or I'm feeling pain and somebody will just open her mouth and say this. So, and then people don't mind them. Like you need to ignore them at the end of the day. You know how you feel. It's your body. You know when you need to stop and rest. So it's mostly you're being dramatic or maybe it's not that bad. You're just exaggerating or overreacting about or talking about it. So those are the comments, and people will say them. Some days, I think it depends on how I feel emotionally.
No.
Some days they get to me. Other days I really don't care. I just leave them there with their comments.
I wanted to ask when you talk about emotionally, I want to ask: do you have a love life?
Yes,
Do you have a love life?
yes.
How has it been struggling with fibromyalgia?
So it's been. I didn't think we're going to reach this part of the conversation, but so it's been okay. Like he's been pretty supportive. He's reading about it a lot, and
Oh,
yes, and he's been patient with me because some days I can't even pick up the phone and have a conversation, and
wow.
it's okay. Yes,
So now you talk about your work
yes.
life and all. Has this illness affect your work life balance? Like, has it affected your career or something you wanted to be in the future and it did not really like go that path for you?
So maybe it hasn't affected my career, but something I wanted to do in future, yes and no, because I feel like maybe if I didn't have this illness, there are probably some things I would have done in my life that
Something like what?
maybe so like my business, like I feel like I would have been doing more than I'm
Oh,
doing now. Yes.
oh,
So, but because of the illness, I feel like there are some things that I have to take a step back or take it slow. And maybe I'm not where I want to be or where I thought I would have been by now. But I feel like at the end of the day, I still so fibromyalgia changes you, but it shouldn't like change what you feel or the perspective you have of yourself. So at the end of the day, I feel like it has shifted my goalpost. So I haven't. It's not that the goal is not there; it's there, sha, but it has moved to a different side.
So now you wanted to become a pilot growing up, or you wanted to become something growing up, and fibromyalgia stopped it. Is there anything you wanted to become growing up?
Maybe in primary school you say you want to be a doctor today, tomorrow you want to be
Have
this.
you ever
So
thought of being
like,
a doctor?
no, I haven't.
What have you thought of being before?
So while in secondary school, I actually thought I would be a pharmacist.
Hmm,
Maybe because my mom is a pharmacist. So
interesting. So what do you do?
now,
Yeah.
so now I work in.
Don't tell us where you work, but
But
like
what do I do?
yeah, don't tell us where you work. So you next week.
So serious expo. So I'm not. What am I, self? I'm a government official. Let's leave it like that.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm a businesswoman. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm a businesswoman.
That's chill. It's actually and I like the fact that you love what you do,
Yes.
and even taking that would I say taking the courage to come outside to talk about this illness.
Yeah.
It's something very very courageous. I think so many women might even be like dying in silence on these issues, but they want to come outside to share
Yes.
more light about it. So now talking about the people around you, yeah, were you able to like filter because of this your illnesses now? Were you
Yes.
able to like filter those you keep around you, and how were you able to like know that okay, this is the person I want in my space?
Yeah. So it's mostly when you have when the flare-ups are constant. There's the way pain affects you emotionally. So I feel like it's the people that were still patient out there while I was going through what I was going through because I know that there are times that I've been a very, very difficult person to deal with because I've been dealing with pain. So some people still stuck around. Some people try to be patient with me, while others, of course, I don't blame them because really you can't understand what you're not seeing or what you don't go through. So there are some people that probably were not patient enough to stay and they left, but
No.
those that stayed stayed.
No. What's the darkest moment in your journey?
So it was before like I was diagnosed, the uncertainty and the not knowing. Like you have so many questions, but nobody could offer answers. And then after the diagnosis, there's that pitch black darkness of, oh, okay, now we know what the problem is. What's next? There's no cure. You have to manage it for the rest of your life. And I think that's something that is very difficult for most people because you'll be thinking, oh, I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. And then, sometimes with medication, after a while, it stops working. And then you'll be thinking about, okay, so when the medication stops, what do I do next? Like, is this how it's going to be forever? You wake up some days, you have very bad days, or you're in so much pain. And then you're thinking, is this how I'm going to continue living life forever and ever in so much pain and all of this?
So now, for someone watching now that wants to also use your experience now to judge, can you tell us one thing that has helped you manage your pain?
So, one thing that has helped me manage my pain, like medically or
In general,
in general,
yeah.
so hope that tomorrow will be better. That has helped me because the flare ups will not last forever. Like, they'll get better.
Has there been any period where you feel like dying?
No. I felt worse, but I've not felt like dying.
You really want to enjoy this life to the fullest. So what's the role like? I don't talk about family because I've seen in your family like moments, and I know it's
Yes.
it's a very very like pleasant one. So like what's one role that the family has played towards this journey?
So they've been very supportive. They've learned, like everyone, even some of my cousins that I'm really close to, they've actually taken time out to learn about fibromyalgia. They know triggers, they know what to do. And like I can be in a family gathering doing something and you see one cousin somewhere or my sister, oh, you shouldn't be doing this or lifting this. You know this why you will pay for this later or stop doing this. So they've been really supportive. They've learned, they've educated themselves about fibromyalgia. They've assisted me when I ask for help, when I have to cancel or I can't do something. Nobody judges me for not being able to do anything. Like I can wake up today, we can have plans, oh, you're going to do this or help me with that. And then last minute, I'm not able to do anything and it's fine. They understand. And then there's no negative or bad feelings or anything.
So I wanted to know like what does it feel like managing fibromyalgia on a daily basis?
So it's like if you were to pay attention to what I do every day, you'd see me when I wake up. I have to like negotiate with my body what I can do and what I can't do. I get to work and then I have to like figure out how to like how do I put it? Is it to divide my energy so that I can maybe go through the whole day without getting exhausted. And then after a long day of whatever it is I've had going on, I get back home and I have to rest. And the rest, I have a routine for resting. I have to be in bed at a particular time. If not, I would wake up the next day very exhausted.
Well, has
Yeah.
the pain ever been so overwhelming for you?
Yes, it has. Like in the beginning, there were days when I would just wake up and even taking a shower was a very Herculean task. Like there are days where I will have to, when I had flare ups, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I can't shower till maybe the evening or night. I can't do anything. Other days I wake up, I shower, get dressed. I cannot even go along with the whole day plan. I'll just have to go back to bed and cancel that day.
When this pain gets to come, do you like shout, cry,
Mm.
stay silent, talk to somebody? Like
So I mostly am silent and sometimes I complain. I like to complain. I think it makes me feel better when I complain. Oh, my this hurts, my that. Other times maybe I cry when I'm alone, but I don't cry when people are around because I don't want anybody to get overly worried. So some days I just maybe I go to the bathroom and take a moment and cry. Or maybe when I've said my prayers, I'm on the praying mat, I can just start bawling my eyes out. But for the most part, complain is my go-to for therapy. I
who do you
complain and
complain to the
complain.
most?
I complain to Dr. Z mostly. She's my therapy teddy. I complain to her, this is hurting, that is hurting, I've done this, I've done that, it hasn't helped, and then she's the person I complain to the most.
Do you think like you having this chronic disorder? Do you think it has affected your love life?
No, it hasn't.
Like from the beginning to the end? Like I know you like
So
has it
not
affected?
really, because I feel
Any,
like anybody that wants to run away because I'm ill can't. You don't say, oh, you can just go. Like, it
so
hasn't really.
so
So
you've
at the
already
end of the
built
day, people that would stay would stay.
so you've already built yourself emotionally. Like
Yes,
how are you able to build yourself
I
emotionally?
don't even know. I feel like I don't know how I wired myself to be like that, but it just came. Like at the end of the day, it's me first and my body first before anybody
Miss
else.
a hard girl.
Occasionally. So like I can't change or mold myself so that anybody can fit in, because at the end of the day it might be destroying me more than I
True.
actually know it is. So it's I put myself
So
first.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked yourself, because I've seen some people talk about, oh God, why me? Like, have you ever questioned God that, oh, why did you create me this kind of thing?
So back to the religious aspects of us being Nigerians and Muslims were taught to take whatever comes to you as something from God. You don't question, you don't. So that mindset has, I've never questioned why me. Of course, I'll be sad some days that, oh, I'm going through what I have to go through, but I've never had the time, or I've never ever thought to, oh, why did God do this? Like I said earlier, I take it as it's my special gift from God.
So you think your chronic disease is from God?
Yes. Everything happens to us. Whatever happens to us, like it's not from anybody. It's God has a reason for everything, and whatever happens to you, that's how God plans it for you and your life. And then you learn to take it as whether it's good or bad for you. At the end of the day, it's good.
Is there like, your symptoms now, are there any
Yes.
surprise ones that come in these days?
Yes,
Or
they do.
like surprisingly, there's a
Yes.
new developing symptoms?
Every time there was so last sometime last year I had terrible jaw pain. Like I had to go to the hospital. And then they did X-ray. They did what was. I think I remember I couldn't even. So part of my one side of my face was swollen, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't chew well. I got to the hospital. They checked. They did tests, and I think I saw an ENT. He checked and he was like, "Oh, maybe it's a. Oh, maybe it's first." He said arthritis of the jaw.
Or
And then when he started talking about, oh, it happens, it's this, I told him, oh, I actually have a medical condition, this is. And he was like, oh, then it's possible it's one because it can hit muscles of anywhere. I've had days when I would have terrible chest pain, and then I'll go x-rays, everything, nothing, everything comes out normal. And at the end of the day, I'll trace it back to it's probably a flare up. So it can hit any part of the body and new symptoms come every day.
is there any like a big emotional challenge that you have facing, like having this chronic, illness? Is there any like a emotional challenge you have towards it?
Like,
Maybe there's this, oh, you think you're boring people, or there's this emotion around the fact that, oh,
yeah.
am I a problem to my
Oh.
family? Or
So, so yes, I think I've passed that stage of since now I'm able to. Initially, in the beginning, I felt like, oh, I'm going to be such a burden to people because, and then I'll be thinking about what if moving further in life, it makes me not able to move. Okay, maybe I'll become incapacitated. People will have to look after me. Everybody will have to. Maybe people around me will stop their lives to come and be taking care of me. So now I'm past that stage because I can see that I've lived with it for over 10 years now, and then yes, the symptoms keep coming and going. There's some that are still here since when I started, but then I've been able to navigate myself through, and I see that it's not as bad as I actually thought it would be.
for someone facing the same issue with you now,
Yes.
can you just give us like a routine that has helped you over the last 10 years?
So yes, I do. Now I've started doing aqua therapy. So I do aqua water aerobics like once a week. And then I do, some people, heat helps them, some people cold. It depends on, like, you need to understand your symptoms and what works for you. So I've noticed now that heat helps me. So I do pain patches, hot patches. I use hot water bottle to do heat therapy. And so that's what's basically, and then I'm on supplements, the magnesium, calcium, and whatnot, because with fibromyalgia, there's tendency that your calcium, vitamin D levels and parameters would be actually dropping, or and you need to constantly check because sometimes it might be extremely high or it goes low. There's no balance.
Wow.
So those are the things that I do that help me.
Something just came to my mind. I'm thinking, okay,
Yes.
so many women have like issues with period pain.
Yes.
So how can you like differentiate when you have period pain and when you have fibromyalgia pain?
So yes, maybe I can because since the period pain, it's mostly the pelvic region. But what I cannot differentiate is fibromyalgia and maybe if I'm coming down with malaria or a flu or something because the
Oh,
symptoms are constantly overlapping. But with period pain, I can actually differentiate if it's fibromyalgia or it's a period pain. But
oh,
with other, like, I can have a flare up and it will be like, oh, it's a migraine. Or I feel like I have a flare up, but maybe it's malaria because my joints are hurting. And I can't differentiate if it's fibromyalgia, flare up, or something, another, maybe I'm coming down with something.
so are there like lifestyle changes that maybe you've done, maybe the way you food you eat, things you
Yes.
do that you can say that can help people that have this issue?
Yes, there are actually. So I recently, like over the past 2, 3 months, there was a rheumatologist I saw, and then we kept having virtual consultations. So she suggested that I change my diet. So I went online and saw, oh, anti-inflammatory diet, and I was like, oh, let me try one of these. So I started like 2 months ago, and I think it's been helping because the pain has reduced substantially. Substantially, sorry. So the pain has reduced a lot. Let me go back to the English I know, please.
Yeah.
The pain has reduced a lot. I've been doing like the aqua aerobics I mentioned, that one too. I'm off sugar now. Like I'm actually off sugar. I don't do soda. I don't do anything sweet, extremely sweet. So that has been helping as well. People
Wow.
say walking helps or doing exercises. I need to get back to that because sometime I start exercising and then the flare up starts and then I stop.
So what's the financial implication of your illness? Like how are you able to manage the financial implication?
So I'm grateful I have supportive family. So they've helped me pitched in because I cannot afford myself on my own. Because it's been a lot. It takes a toll on you, and then especially with there are some hospitals and doctors that might take you for granted, or they've seen okay, this is a way of making money. So you go and even the tests you don't need or the medication you don't need them, they make you buy or take tests you don't need.
Oh, so
So
you
it's
faced
a
something
lot.
like that before?
Yes, many
Wow.
times.
Sad. So what's the biggest misconception people have about fibromyalgia?
So they first of all they think it's just some people say it's just stress or it's all in your head. People don't understand that if they can't see pain, it's not there. They want to physically see that
Oh,
oh
you are going through
you're
pain.
going through pain, or there's a bruise somewhere before you okay, your hand is paining you, I don't see anything there. Or you say you're feeling somehow, you don't know, they run test and it's not malaria, that
Yeah,
means
yeah.
you're okay. So the misconception is the fact that it's not they can't see it. They just think, oh, if you complain, oh, you're probably tired, you're stressed, you should rest. Not knowing that sometimes even the rest can make you even feel worse because when you're having a flare up, no matter what you do, no matter how much you rest, it might not actually help you.
People say you don't look sick. When they tell you that thing, how do you feel?
I just smile and leave them alone because I cannot take you. You can't see what I'm going through. And then I'm always like, oh, I'm grateful I don't look like what I'm going through.
I think some people just think it's spiritual.
Yes, I've actually, I've had a doctor that actually said, oh, maybe you have some spiritual problem. Since you couldn't find what was wrong with me. So
Oh,
yes, I get that a lot. Like in the past, I've had that a lot from friends, from family. I remember one grand auntie that once said, "You're always sick. You're always sick. Are you sure it's not one spiritual? Maybe somebody did something to you." And I'm like,
oh.
"So yes."
Assuming you're from the south, they will say that you have a spiritual husband.
So I don't understand. If I have a spiritual husband, why is he causing me pain?
Maybe the spiritual husband wants you to come. I don't know, but that or the spiritual husband don't want you to be with another man.
They
So
will
this
now, yes,
cause you
there's that.
pain.
I've heard that before. That people say, "Oh, there's somebody has married you in the spirit world."
Are you sure they've not married you in the spirit world?
I hope not so because I'll be a terrible wife in the spirit world.
Or so like for have you seen somebody? Also, I want to ask, have you seen somebody that has same chronic illness with you?
Yes, actually. So even last week, I had a call from someone who told me she just got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry you have to go through this, but I'm grateful you don't have to do it alone because there's so many people now that have it." I have a friend too that I think some months back she told me she was diagnosed. Then I have another friend that I think hers will be like 8, 10 years. She was
Oh,
also diagnosed. So I've seen and I know people that are actually diagnosed. But when I first started, I think I was the only one, or
okay.
maybe there were other people that I hadn't known about yet.
Well, now, so now before we go, if do you have any like advice you have for women going through pain, any kind
Yes,
of pain?
yes. So your pain is totally valid. Don't stop searching for answers. Like believe in yourself. You know you're going through it. Keep asking questions. Keep seeing doctors. Like eventually, somebody once somewhere will think outside the box, like mine did, and then you find answers. It's not
Oh,
easy. It's not. It's a very very daunting journey. Like it's not. And I pray that whoever is going through what I've gone through, and what I'm going through, has family support because that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
well, you talked about um, journey, your journey.
Yes.
As this the journey is still going on up to now,
Yes,
right?
it is. It's a journey that will keep going on for the rest of my life. So
Have you like imagine yourself in the next 50 years to see
mm,
if they are going to get cure of this? Because
yes,
I saw a comment, someone was saying about, oh, why can't they get cure of this? Someone was like, it's around, actually the comment, the comment was dated around like 5 years.
yeah.
And someone is saying that why can't they get a cure for this? And somebody also said that this stuff is caused by vaccines.
So there are a lot of misconceptions about vaccines. People keep claiming that vaccines cause a lot of all these diseases and things that we can't explain. But I'm sure that working on a cure or at least something to help manage pain and symptoms. I know there's been talk about like medical trials and whatnot going on in the US.
Yeah.
There was this supplement I got recently that's supposed to help people with fibromyalgia. And I've been taking it for I think 2 weeks now, or maybe like 10 days. And I don't know, maybe it's part of the things helping me, but like a lot of my symptoms have improved.
Improve.
They're
Oh.
still there, but I'm able to manage them better and they're not as bad as they were. So I'm hopeful that in the next couple of years, things will be better for us.
If you're hopeful for the next couple of years, that things are better for you, for us. I mean,
Yeah.
so for today, what gives you hope?
What gives me hope today is I'm still alive, I'm still working. So, and I know that things will get better, like eventually.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing your story. Like, I'm so grateful that you're able to share it, and I believe that someone that is listening today,
Yes.
will be able to pick one or two and get to understand that their pain are valid,
Yes.
and they could seek help. Because I'm even wondering, say, how did you even feel when you finally get your diagnosis? Like, did you feel happy? Were you relieved?
Yes, I was relieved. There was confusion and a bit of grief because relief that finally, after so many years of going in and out of the hospital, tests and whatnot, I finally had a name to what I was feeling. And then there was grief of, okay, now what next? Especially when I heard the doctor say there was no cure.
Okay.
I had to
Oh,
be managing, and then there was confusion because I didn't even know where to begin. It was something very new to me then. I had never heard about fibromyalgia before then. And then, of course, the first thing you do is to pick up your phone and check,
that's it.
and then you see all sorts of things, chronic illness, one thing, and then it's so much information. So there was so much confusion. But at the end of the day, it was like satisfying to know that there are things that you do that will help you get through it all.
And if you even hear the word chronic illness, your mind will
It's
just
yes, it's not something you want to hear because the first thing you'll be thinking of is pain, doom, doom, doom. That's all.
oh,
You will not think because nobody wants to hear chronic illness. You know that it's not something that will go away
they
after a day
were
or two.
true.
Yeah.
Because I'm even thinking, what about people that have sickle cell? Is there any difference between someone that have sickle cell or with someone that has a fibromyalgia?
I have
Is
no
there a
idea.
difference?
We both go through pain,
Pain, yeah, because we both go through pain, but
theirs too can be very intense because when they have crisis, it's really bad. And I feel like theirs is actually worse than ours because, when they get crisis, it's some of them have to go through blood
transfusion,
transfusion
yeah.
and all those kind of, some get to have treatments that I have a friend that has sickle cell and she is mostly in and out of the hospital. I know what she goes through. I can't say that I've gone through or I'm going through even half of what she goes through
Oh.
because that's a really, really intense.
But when I'm thinking actually, you're actually very chill, to be very honest. You're a very, very chill person because some people might even be scared of coming in and out of the hospital.
Oh,
But once they
oh.
hear hospital, they feel like, triggered that, oh, why am I coming to the hospital?
I think I've learned to get used to. And then the people, when you go to the hospital, it's like an eye opener for you. You see people that are going through worse than what you are
Yeah,
going through. You
true.
see people that are really bedridden. So it kind of gives you hope and then gratitude that you're actually on your feet. You're still, because most times there's never been a day that I've been rushed or carried or I passed out and was taken to the hospital or the ER. I'm always going on with
That
my
means you're managing
legs.
it very well now.
I'm trying.
Oh,
Yes, so it's been good because I think it was the onset before I actually got diagnosed. That was when pain was really intense. I remember we were in the hospital in India with my mom. I had actually accompanied her. She had a minor surgery. And then she was like, oh, just run some tests and let's see a doctor and see if they can help you with what has you've been dealing with. And I remember we did tests, we did blood tests, I did the kidney function, lung function, everything. Doctor was like, oh, we should go back to the hotel. The results will be out after 4 days. And then the next day he called her and was like, come to the hospital immediately. When we got there, we sat in his office. He was like, give us a minute. He went and called some other doctors. Before we knew it, there were like 6 to 8 doctors on our head.
wow.
And then they kept asking, who is the patient? And he was like, it's me. And the first thing one of the doctors asked was, did you walk here or you were put on a wheelchair? I was like, I came with my 2 legs now. Can't you see me? You're like, there's no wheelchair here. And we're so confused. I was like, have you ever been, do you always walk? Do you use a walking stick? Have you been
Oh,
walking without any help unaided? I was like, yes, like the pain is there, but it's not that bad. And that was when they told us that, oh, my vitamin D level was ridiculously low. They had never seen that kind of level before. And so that was why they were so surprised that I was actually on my 2 feet.
oh.
So that was the only time that I think the pain had reached, or whatever it was had reached that level. But still, I was still on my feet and I was still able to do, we would go out. After that, I think that was when it sunk into my mom that the problem was actually beyond what we knew it was, or how it was bigger than what we knew. Because after that, when we go out, I take 1, 2 steps. She's like, sit down, sit down, sit down, rest. I'm like, calm down. I can do it. I can move. I'm like, when I'm tired, I'll tell you. But other than that, like it's been okay.
Okay.
I think that was one of the lowest moments. That was one, and still I was able to push through. I think I have a high threshold for pain. So
Wow.
because I know other than recently, like sometimes I'm in so much pain for a long time, and before when I complain, that's when maybe it's very, very bad. But I'm
Wow.
able to just take care of myself and just handle it before I start shouting. But recently, I think that the threshold has started
But is
dropping
there anything
because,
that triggers your pain apart from stress?
so apart from stress, maybe mostly stress. Well, sometimes I can just go to work and come back, and then pain will start. So
Oh,
now, but I take things slow. I do what I can. Even when I don't feel tired, I'm like, okay, maybe if I've walked or I'm standing for like 20, 30 minutes, I know that I should sit down or take a break. But apart from work, nothing really triggers or stress. It's mostly stress is the
stress.
main factor that triggers all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, the the aspect of, is there any one story now that changed your perspective about this whole fibromyalgia? Is there any one story in your life that changed how you see fibromyalgia?
So my story or someone else's story.
Anything that happened, your story, anything that happened within you, like in your life that changed your perspective of.
Is there? I'm trying to think. Yeah, so maybe last year I had a surgery for ovarian cyst. So before then, When I first got to the hospital and they ran some tests and they did a scan, the first doctor I saw, I don't know, maybe he was going through something, but when he saw, he just, oh, there's growth in your ovaries. First thing he said was, it's cancer. I have to remove your ovaries. I think at that moment, for like 1 minute, the fibromyalgia left my body because I'm like, and then he asked me, "Oh, do you live here?" Because he was in Cairo. "Do you live here?" I was like, "No, I'm just here. I just came to do like a follow up from my previous appointment." No, you have to move because you need chemotherapy, radiation. One thing, one thing. He was just talking, and then I think from that moment, like the fibromyalgia flew and left my body. And then after that, I sought a second opinion.
Yeah.
And then they just found out it was just ovarian cyst that they were going to take out. So after that, I was like, thank God for my fibromyalgia, because at least that one, I know that it's not sending me anywhere anytime soon. Like, we're going to be together forever. But anything that, because he really frightened me. Like,
Oh,
it was.
wow, I'm actually very proud of you because you're already saying that, oh yeah, your fibromyalgia is going to live forever.
Yes,
I
we're
think you've already taken
together.
it parts. Like,
Yes, we're now. We're
is-
twins. It lives with me. So.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, and this video I believe is going to touch a lot of people's hearts.
I
It's going
hope
to
so too.
touch a lot of lives, and I want to appreciate you for coming on the show and sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Yeah. So if you've watched up to this moment, I want to thank you for watching up to this moment, and please for you to support what we're doing here, for you to hear more stories like this, please subscribe and share this video so that I might need it. And see you on our next episode. Bye.